When you're in the middle of addiction, there's that dark voice that talks to you, that tries to get you to do things and keeps going back to that substance, and we keep giving into it. We think that that, in fact, is our own voice, when it isn't. It's actually a spirit trying to play tricks on us. It's trying to keep us stuck where we're at, right? And there's that other voice that you get in your head that's the I know what I should be doing voice, but I'm not doing it, right? And there's these two voices that are in your mind, you know? And if you really pay close enough attention, you can tell there's a little bit of a difference in the way that they talk, and a little bit of a difference in the tone, a little bit of difference in the speed of the conversation. And really, I realized in the middle of this addiction, wow, this is a spiritual issue, right? This is not just like a physical thing. This is a spiritual issue I'm going with, and I need to reach for some guidance from my higher power. I need to reach for some strength and some protection from my higher power. Otherwise, these spirits will keep influencing me. They'll keep dropping those, planting those little seeds, and I will just buy into it and keep going back to the same self-sabotage and the same patterns over and over again. So if you're dealing with addiction, you're trying to overcome addiction, all right? It's not just a physical thing, all right? It's not a physical thing. And if you think it's a physical thing, you're going to be concerned about withdrawal. You're going to be concerned about, you know, everything when you don't have your substance. But if you start to lean on your higher power, you start to believe in a God, a higher power, and you start to really fully believe, right? And start to put all your faith in it, start walking towards it in your mind, doing the right things in your mind, right? Then that voice will start to dominate. That voice will start to dominate, and eventually that darkness, that voice of that just doesn't sound right, that never sounded right in the first place, that started to slide in months after the addiction and start to control you, that voice starts to disappear, and eventually it's completely gone. And you have yourself, finally. You have your real self. And now you can actually follow the intuition of God and the guidance of God, because you could hear the right voice. And now you've gone through the addiction, you've recovered, and you found God in the middle of the addiction. This is what happened to me. It was a beautiful process, but I'm going to tell you, it was a very scary and risky process too, because once I started getting involved in seeking things through substances, I started to get on this other spiritual realm where I was now being played with by certain spirits. I was open to being played with by certain spirits. I was feeling the presence of God at times, and it was disappearing. It was coming back and forth over and over again. And it was so significant how different it was that I just kept going back to this thing and kept getting tricked that this thing was in fact the right decision. So don't buy into it, everybody. If you have an addiction, you've got to reach for God, for a higher power, because the spirit will keep playing with you. And until you actually call it out for what it is, I know that this isn't me. This is the spirit trying to mess with me. It's trying to plant this idea in my mind. As soon as you call that out, it starts running, because it knows that you know now, and it's going to go play with someone else, right? So call it out. Call it out for what it is. When you call it out for what it is, it'll disappear. This is how you overcome the spiritual battle when you're dealing with addiction. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to my website, endsickness.org. Have a good one.